Good midday from Pflugerville, Texas. It's a gorgeous day here. We've had so much wind and mist and rain and stuff like that. Really, this is all about I want to share my mama's secret recipe for turkey stuffing. Hang around, don't go away, because some of you people apparently know one of the best stuffings, which you don't actually put into the bird. Okay, I learned food chemistry and how to cook from mostly from my mom. Chinese ain't that hard to. You can just watch them do it, and nobody really they don't have to speak English. You can just see the simple techniques of fast cooking. Anyway, battery saver mode. Okay, I know that. Anyway, actually, I think as wedding gifts or whatever my parents had received, they had a full set of silver for 8 or whatever. They had those. She didn't bring on on normal days. We actually sometimes would have mixed up, sets of because you got 10 people at the when I was young or whatever. Well, actually a couple of was gone, so but you still had like 8 people at the table and maybe a guest. So always around 9 or 10 on Thanksgiving. She was good at mass, like the turkey. You don't put stuffing inside of a turkey before you cook it. No, you leave that cavity open so that there's no chance of salmonella. So it's cooked through, and you use long time, low temperature, the way I do orange glazed duck. I think the French term is canard orange, something like that. I'm not sure. And I don't use any Grand Marnier. Oh, there's somebody's superior. Okay. Sorry, I read all incoming if they pop up on the screen. I make my orange glaze from scratch. None of that nasty, bitter orange Grand Marnier shit. But that's what my mama did, was long time, low temperature roasting. And it was as the juices would come off, she might rub some butter on the turkey or whatever to kind of help seal in juices and keep the skin nice and moist and make it turn really good and gold. And it's salted butter on top of that. So it's already, you don't need to, but I'll get to because I know y'all don't like long videos. This is the way she would make it, is that even at the end when it's finished, the oven is still warm. Take out the turkey or just to the edge briefly, and as we say in Texas, tump, not dump, tump all those flavorful juices. She would make the stuffing would actually be like her last thing, because she had to wait on those flavorful juices. Although sometimes she did add a little extra. Actually, the creamer she really used was Carnation evaporated milk, or just good evaporated milk. It has a sweet flavor because it caramelizes during the evaporation. That's the difference between it has much anyway. And she'd already have the water boiling for the rice and stuff like that. You never add salt or fat at the beginning of boiling rice. No, never. Salt keeps it hard. No, you don't want to do that. You're trying to create a creamy gravy. Anyway, God, please. And you use you use 3 times on the rice. The recipe they give you is to make you consume more rice and produce the driest. Please, Orientals don't eat rice that way. They like rice that clumps so they can pick it up with chopsticks and shit. We seem to be some of the only weirdos in the world that likes every grain to be. That's actually some kind of marketing, merchandising shit. I don't really. Anyway. And she put in the rice, and once it began, although she would cook it in the juices and a little bit of water, actually lots of water. You want them to swell up, and you want that starch to come out. This is the one time you violate the don't add fat to the end. rule, fat and salt and other things like that. And because you want to kind of get that juice into the and begin creating the the starchy base, create the roux or whatever, that's kind of the gravy, the cream gravy of the stuffing. And all she really added was, because back then celery actually had flavor. There's almost no flavor in celery today. Not sure why. And she would take them big, you should go through a couple of 3 large jars of the Jolly Green Giant brined mushrooms. Am I leaving anything out? Not really. It was kind of tastes like if you mixed together rice and cream of mushroom and cream of celery soup together. And I think those are really all the components. And oh my God, delicious. I can eat that stuff all day long. It really, it's just so. Yeah, she did add carnation milk at the end and stuff. She would usually season our foods for us because she had that Anglo palate, and if it called for garlic for 10 people, she might use barely enough. I'm talking about a few milligrams just to create the aroma, but nothing to make us. She didn't like garlic. She didn't like coffee. She didn't. I should finish here, but I had another thought I wanted to do. So that was an analysis of. I've tasted now about 5 different types of the standard. I don't know where the hell y'all got that cornbread dressing shit. Some was actually probably stovetop stuffing. The last one I tasted, I think they even threw in thyme. So I got some fresh thyme and barely cooked thyme, and it was a homemade. But actually, I had tasted the piece of cornbread that they had made that stuff out of, and oh my God, that cornbread was made with some kind of really funky vegetable oil. If you think I'm going to eat the stuffing that's made out of the same cornbread, I did take a test only to do analysis. I actually spit it out because there was like a big chunk of it. Wasn't sage, and I think it was thyme, big leaf, full leaf of still plump of thyme. And you people who like cornbread turkey stuffing, that's disgusting, especially because that's GMO corn and shit. That's gonna be full of fucking Roundup and yeah. Rice is still pretty much GMO free, and they don't use Roundup during the desiccation. They use calcium chloride. At least the rice farmers I know here in Texas, that's what they do. Unlike the other grain and legume growers, in order to kill their crop and desiccate it so that it's hard enough to harvest and get it to market as quickly as can while the prices are still good, they use calcium chloride salt. And so give it a try next time. Write down, I'm not going to put it up here for you. Maybe I will. If you actually, my mother never had to measure anything. She just used her eyeballs and her cooking knowledge. She never, measuring spoons and measuring cups in my house were never used because my mom could just do it, eyeball it. And never use 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. You come out with hard, bad rice. It takes actually at least 3 cups or more, and you only need actually 10 minutes. And that's how she would finish it off, is like the way I do, is just cover it. If there's any excess liquid, the rice absorbs it. The rice becomes delicious and soft, not all hard and grainy like you get in restaurants and stuff like that. Because you don't actually need to cook it. You don't need to cook rice for more than 10 minutes. You let it set and absorb the water. Overboiling it in salted water the way it recommends on the package goes against food chemistry. The salt prevents the water from really fully entering the rice and getting it fully cooked, and produces a tasteless rice. So that's it. That's Mom's secret recipe. You just got it. You people need to get away from that cornbread, turkey stuff and shit. That stuff tastes god awful, really, honestly.